My name is Rich Harney. I'm a fellow, 2019-2020 fellow in the University of Minnesota Advanced Careers Program.
Hi, my name is Rose Adams and I'm a junior at the University of Minnesota.
I think one of the things that is really interesting about the UMAC program is it takes people, undergraduate students and professionals at the end of their career, who seemingly have almost nothing in common, but who actually have a lot in common when it comes to phases of life and their transitions. Much as these students are in a position these days to be considering what's next for me and what comes as a result of going through college and deciding what to do next, whether it's going on to grad school or employment or what have you. Those same considerations that they're challenged with right now, the same considerations that people of my age at the end of our professional careers are also facing. What's next? What's the next act? What am I interested in doing, and how can I prepare myself to do it? So even though on the surface it appears we have nothing in common, in regards to those transitions, we have everything in common. And UMAC really gives us the opportunity to consider those questions together at the same time and learn from each other as we consider what's next.
Like when you learn about the civil rights movement, you look at particular people who were really big players in the civil rights movement, like Martin Luther King Jr. and like Ella Baker and all those people who are really famous. But I think that while it is important to learn from experts about a topic, it's also important to learn from people who are just there. And I think that, I don't know really how to phrase this, but having adults in the classroom that way, like you were able to give us perspectives for things even though you might not necessarily have been an expert on the topic. And like that's all part of it. That's all part of understanding, any topic, any event in history, civil rights movement just being one of the few things, Like your understanding of 9/11 is much different than ours is. That's not something we talked about in class particularly, but like that's an example of something where having another perspective just really enhances the learning, the option to learn something at a more deep level, I suppose.
The barriers that seemingly exist between you and an undergraduate, mostly based around age, quickly evaporate. And all of a sudden you're just another person who has something to learn and also another person who has something to teach.
I would hope that in the same way that having you in our class helped us to see what older generations think, that having you in our class helped you to see what younger generations are thinking, because I think there's a lot of stereotypes. We think of boomers in a certain way, and you think of millennials or Gen Xers in a certain way, and I think that it's my hope that you can see that a lot of the way that people view our generation might not necessarily be true. So I think older generations see us as, entitled or overly passionate about things that are, perhaps not important. But I think that this class in particular hopefully showed you that the reasons a lot of us are really passionate about things are because we have self-interest in those topics, and that runs really deep for a lot of people.